Question 1. A project manager is leading a new software implementation that will significantly alter how daily tasks are performed across several departments. Some team members are openly resistant, expressing anxiety about learning new processes and potential job security. What is the most effective initial strategy for the project manager to address this resistance? A. Mandate immediate adoption and provide a strict timeline for compliance. B. Engage with the resistant team members to understand their concerns and provide clear, consistent communication about the benefits and support available. C. Escalate the resistance issue to senior management, requesting their direct intervention to enforce the change. D. Implement a reward system for early adopters to bypass the concerns of resistant individuals. Answer: B. Engage with the resistant team members to understand their concerns and provide clear, consistent communication about the benefits and support available. The most effective initial strategy for addressing resistance to change is to engage directly with the affected individuals, understanding their concerns and communicating proactively. Resistance often stems from a fear of the unknown or a perceived negative impact, so listening to stakeholders helps the project manager tailor communication and support. For example, clarifying how training will be provided and how the new system enhances rather than threatens roles can alleviate anxiety. Remember, successful organizational change relies heavily on empathy and transparent, two-way communication to foster acceptance. Question 2. During the execution phase of an Agile project, the product owner introduces a significant change to a key feature based on recent market feedback. This change impacts several user stories already in progress for the current sprint. What is the Scrum Master's primary responsibility regarding this change? A. Ensure the development team completes the original scope as planned, deferring the new change to a future sprint. B. Facilitate a discussion with the development team and product owner to assess the impact, understand the new requirements, and collaboratively decide on the sprint's adjustability. C. Immediately stop the current sprint and initiate a new sprint planning session to accommodate the change. D. Document the change request and add it to the bottom of the product backlog for prioritization in later releases. Answer: B. Facilitate a discussion with the development team and product owner to assess the impact, understand the new requirements, and collaboratively decide on the sprint's adjustability. In an Agile environment, the Scrum Master's role during a significant change within a sprint is to facilitate collaboration and transparency, not to dictate or defer. They should bring the product owner and development team together to openly discuss the new requirements, analyze their impact on the current sprint goal and capacity, and collectively determine the best course of action. This collaborative approach respects the team's self-organization and ensures any adjustments to the sprint backlog are made with full understanding and agreement, embodying Agile's principle of responding to change over following a plan. Question 3. A project is introducing a new customer relationship management (CRM) system that will streamline sales processes. To support this organizational change, the project manager needs to ensure the sales team adopts the new system effectively. Which of the following is the most critical factor to consider when designing the training program for the sales team? A. Focusing solely on the technical functionalities of the new CRM system. B. Ensuring the training is delivered by external consultants who are CRM experts. C. Tailoring the training to demonstrate how the new system directly benefits their daily work and improves customer interactions. D. Limiting the training duration to minimize disruption to sales activities. Answer: C. Tailoring the training to demonstrate how the new system directly benefits their daily work and improves customer interactions. For successful adoption of a new system, training must go beyond mere technical functionalities and clearly demonstrate the tangible benefits to the end users in their daily roles. If the sales team understands how the new CRM system will make their work easier, improve efficiency, or enhance customer relationships, they will be far more motivated to adopt it. For example, showing them how the system automates report generation or provides quick access to customer history directly addresses their work needs. This focus on what's in it for them is crucial for overcoming natural resistance and fostering enthusiastic adoption. Question 4. The project management team has identified that a significant cultural shift is required within the organization for a new enterprise-wide system to be successfully implemented. Which of the following best describes the project manager's role in facilitating this cultural change? A. To directly implement the cultural change initiatives by dictating new behaviors. B. To act as a facilitator and enabler, collaborating with organizational change management specialists and senior leadership to guide the cultural transformation. C. To delegate all cultural change responsibilities to the Human Resources Department. D. To ignore cultural aspects and focus solely on the technical implementation of the system. Answer: B. To act as a facilitator and enabler, collaborating with organizational change management specialists and senior leadership to guide the cultural transformation. While project managers are not typically cultural engineers, their role in supporting organizational change extends to facilitating the necessary cultural shifts. They act as facilitators and enablers, working closely with experts like organizational change management specialists and senior leadership who champion the change. For instance, a project manager might help identify key stakeholders, communicate the vision, or support training programs that reinforce desired new behaviors, understanding that cultural change requires broad organizational support and strategic guidance. A successful project manager understands that ignoring cultural aspects can lead to project failure, so they proactively engage in supporting the transformation. Question 5. A project manager is introducing a new performance appraisal system across the company. The current system is well established, and employees are comfortable with it, even if inefficient. To promote adoption, the project manager decides to use a change management model. Which common step in many change models focuses on creating a sense of urgency and demonstrating why the current state is not sustainable? A. Establishing a guiding coalition. B. Enabling action by removing barriers. C. Unfreezing the status quo. D. Consolidating gains and producing more change. Answer: C. Unfreezing the status quo. Many change management models, like Kurt Lewin's three-stage model, begin with the unfreeze phase. This stage involves preparing the organization for change by challenging the current norms and demonstrating the compelling reasons why change is necessary. For example, presenting data on the inefficiencies of the old appraisal system or highlighting competitive pressures might help employees understand the urgency for a new approach. Creating this sense of urgency is crucial because it helps overcome inertia and opens people's minds to new ways of working before introducing the actual new system. Question 6. A project team has developed a new automated reporting system that will replace manual report generation. To ensure the new system is adopted successfully, the project manager plans a series of workshops. What is the primary purpose of these workshops in the context of organizational change? A. To gather requirements for future enhancements to the reporting system. B. To train users on the new system and address their concerns proactively. C. To document the lessons learned from the system development process. D. To formally close the project and transition ownership to operations. Answer: B. To train users on the new system and address their concerns proactively. In the context of organizational change, workshops serve as an effective platform for user training and proactive engagement to address concerns. They provide a structured environment where users can learn how to use the new system hands-on, ask questions, and receive immediate clarification. For example, a workshop might include live demonstrations, practical exercises, and Q&A sessions, which directly helps in building user confidence and addressing potential resistance. This hands-on, interactive approach is critical for fostering adoption and making the transition smoother for everyone involved. Question 7. A project is implementing a new compliance framework. The project manager understands that communication is key to successful adoption. Which communication approach is most effective for fostering understanding and acceptance of this significant organizational change? A. A single, comprehensive email from senior leadership outlining the new framework. B. A series of formal presentations delivered by the project team to all departments. C. Multi-channel, frequent, and tailored communications that involve two-way dialogue and address specific stakeholder needs. D. Relying on informal word-of-mouth spread by project champions. Answer: C. Multi-channel, frequent, and tailored communications that involve two-way dialogue and address specific stakeholder needs. For successful organizational change, communication must be multifaceted, frequent, and tailored to resonate with different stakeholder groups, while also encouraging two-way dialogue. A single email or presentation is insufficient to convey the complexity and impact of a new compliance framework. Instead, combining various channels like town halls, departmental meetings, newsletters, and dedicated Q&A sessions allows for questions, addresses specific concerns, and builds understanding. This approach helps to overcome resistance by ensuring everyone feels heard and understands the why and how of the change, fostering acceptance over compliance. Question 8. An organization is transitioning from a traditional waterfall approach to an agile methodology for software development. The project manager notices significant skepticism among long-tenured developers about the benefits of agile. What is the most effective approach to mitigate this resistance? A. Enforce the new agile processes immediately and strictly monitor compliance. B. Provide mandatory training sessions on agile principles and tools without allowing questions. C. Highlight the successes of agile pilot projects within the organization and involve key skeptical developers in defining new agile workflows. D. Offer financial incentives for developers who quickly adopt agile practices. Answer: C. Highlight the successes of agile pilot projects within the organization and involve key skeptical developers in defining new agile workflows. To mitigate skepticism towards a new methodology like agile, demonstrating tangible successes and involving key influencers are highly effective strategies. Showcasing successful pilot projects provides concrete evidence of agile's benefits, while involving skeptical but influential developers in defining new workflows gives them ownership and addresses their concerns directly. For example, if a pilot project delivered faster value or better quality using agile, presenting this data along with their input can transform skepticism into advocacy. This collaborative approach fosters buy-in and makes the transition smoother by leveraging internal champions. Question 9. A project manager is deploying a new enterprise resource planning (ERP) system. During the implementation, key departmental managers express concerns that the new system will disrupt their existing workflows and make their teams less efficient. What is the best way to manage these stakeholders and their concerns? A. Ignore their concerns, as the new system is mandated by senior leadership. B. Reassure them that everything will be fine, without providing specific details. C. Engage them as active participants in designing new workflows within the ERP system, demonstrating how their input influences the outcome. D. Postpone the ERP implementation indefinitely until all concerns are resolved. Answer: C. Engage them as active participants in designing new workflows within the ERP system, demonstrating how their input influences the outcome. The most effective way to manage key stakeholders' concerns during a significant change like an ERP implementation is to engage them actively in the solution. Involving departmental managers in designing new workflows within the ERP system gives them a sense of ownership and ensures the solution addresses their specific needs. For example, if they help shape how their team's processes integrate with the ERP, they become advocates for the change, not resistors, because they see their input directly influencing the project's success. This collaborative approach fosters commitment and reduces resistance by directly involving those most impacted. Question 10. The project manager of a major infrastructure upgrade is working with a team that has historically preferred traditional, rigid processes. The new upgrade requires more adaptive and iterative approaches. How can the project manager best foster a mindset of adaptability within the team? A. Enforce the new adaptive processes through strict monitoring and penalties for non-compliance. B. Gradually introduce iterative elements, providing clear examples of their benefits and celebrating small successes. C. Replace team members who struggle with the new adaptive approaches with those already experienced in them. D. Provide a one-time training session on adaptability and expect immediate transformation. Answer: B. Gradually introduce iterative elements, providing clear examples of their benefits and celebrating small successes. Fostering a mindset of adaptability in a team accustomed to rigid processes requires a gradual and supportive approach, not sudden enforcement or replacement. By introducing iterative elements incrementally, the team can slowly adjust and experience the benefits firsthand. For example, starting with short feedback loops or mini sprints for a smaller component allows the team to see improvements and build confidence. Celebrating these small wins reinforces the positive aspects of adaptability, making the transition smoother and more natural over time. Question 11. A project to digitalize all paper records is facing internal pushback due to concerns about data security and job displacement. The project manager recognizes that these are valid concerns. Which of the following is the best way to address these anxieties and support the organizational change? A. Publish a formal statement from legal counsel denying any security risks and emphasizing job stability. B. Conduct open forums, provide transparent information about security measures and retraining opportunities, and involve HR in addressing employment concerns. C. Proceed with the digitalization quietly to avoid further resistance. D. Offer lump sum compensation to employees potentially affected by job displacement. Answer: B. Conduct open forums, provide transparent information about security measures and retraining opportunities, and involve HR in addressing employment concerns. To effectively address anxieties related to significant organizational changes like digitalization, transparency, and proactive communication are paramount. Holding open forums allows employees to voice concerns directly and receive accurate information regarding data security protocols and job impact. Partnering with human resources to discuss retraining opportunities or reassignment plans directly addresses fears of job displacement, fostering trust and showing genuine concern for employees' welfare. This comprehensive and empathetic approach helps to alleviate fears by providing clarity and tangible support, promoting acceptance rather than continued resistance. Question 12. A project has successfully implemented a new customer feedback system. To ensure the new system is sustained and continuously improved, what should the project manager focus on next, even after the initial deployment? A. Moving on to the next project immediately, as the system is now operational. B. Ensuring the new system is formally handed over to the operations team with clear responsibilities for maintenance and support. C. Disbanding the project team and closing out all project documentation. D. Developing a new, more advanced customer feedback system. Answer: B. Ensuring the new system is formally handed over to the operations team with clear responsibilities for maintenance and support. Sustaining organizational change after initial implementation requires a clear and formal handover to the operational team responsible for its ongoing maintenance and support. Without defined ownership and responsibilities, the new system may not be properly utilized, updated, or troubleshot, leading to a rollback to old processes. For example, establishing service level agreements, SLAs, and providing comprehensive documentation and training to the operations team ensures the new system's longevity and continued benefits realization. This structured transition is vital for embedding the change permanently within the organization. Question 13. An organization is undertaking a significant strategic shift, impacting several ongoing projects. The project managers need to align their project objectives with the new strategic direction. Which organizational change concept is most relevant here? A. Benefits realization management. B. continuous improvement. C. Organizational process assets, OPAs. D. Change agent effectiveness. Answer: A. Benefits realization management. When an organization undergoes a strategic shift, the concept of benefits realization management becomes critically relevant for project managers. This involves identifying, planning, executing, and sustaining the benefits that a project is intended to deliver, ensuring they align with the new strategic objectives. For example, if the strategic shift aims for higher customer satisfaction, project objectives might need to be adjusted to contribute directly to this goal, and the benefits of the project then measured against it. Project managers must actively manage and track how their projects contribute to the organization's strategic benefits to ensure the change is truly effective. Question 14. A project manager is leading a project that introduces a new, highly complex software tool. The initial user training was well received, but adoption rates are lower than expected, and users are reverting to old methods. What might be the underlying issue, and what should the project manager consider next? A. The training was ineffective, plan another comprehensive training session. B. The users are inherently resistant to change, consider disciplinary action. C. There might be a lack of ongoing support or perceived value, establish a support network and reinforce benefits. D. The software tool is fundamentally flawed, immediately halt its deployment. Answer: C. There might be a lack of ongoing support or perceived value, establish a support network and reinforce benefits. Low adoption rates despite good initial training often indicate a lack of ongoing support or that users don't perceive the sustained value of the new tool in their daily work. People tend to revert to familiar methods when new ones are difficult or offer unclear advantages. The project manager should establish a readily available support network, such as help desks or superusers, and continuously reinforce the long-term benefits of the new tool through follow-up communications. For example, providing quick tips or how-to guides for common tasks can help users integrate the tool into their routines, making the change stick. Question 15. The project team is piloting a new project management information system, PMIS, within a small department before a company-wide rollout. What is the primary benefit of this pilot approach in supporting organizational change? A. It eliminates the need for full-scale training for the entire organization. B. It allows for early identification of issues and gathering feedback in a controlled environment, reducing risks for the larger rollout. C. It ensures the project stays within budget by limiting initial resource expenditure. D. It shifts accountability for system adoption to the pilot department. Answer: B. It allows for early identification of issues and gathering feedback in a controlled environment, reducing risks for the larger rollout. Piloting a new system or process in a small, controlled environment is a crucial strategy for managing organizational change effectively. It allows the project team to identify potential technical glitches, user challenges, and process inefficiencies before a full-scale deployment. For example, by testing the PMIS with one department, the team can collect valuable feedback on usability, identify necessary training adjustments, and refine the rollout strategy, significantly reducing risks and ensuring a smoother, more successful company-wide adoption. This iterative learning approach minimizes disruption and fosters confidence in the new system. Question 16. A project manager has identified a group of influential employees who are highly enthusiastic about a new organizational process. How can the project manager best leverage these individuals to support the change initiative? A. Assign them to lead the project team, replacing existing members. B. Appoint them as change agents or champions to advocate for the new process and support their peers. C. Rely solely on their enthusiasm, without providing additional resources or training. D. Isolate them to prevent their enthusiasm from creating unrealistic expectations among others. Answer: B. Appoint them as change agents or champions to advocate for the new process and support their peers. Influential and enthusiastic employees are invaluable assets in supporting organizational change. They should be leveraged as change agents or champions. By formally empowering them, they can advocate for the new process, answer peer questions, and provide informal support and encouragement. For instance, these champions can demonstrate the benefits of the new process firsthand, making the change more relatable and less intimidating for others. Their internal credibility often makes them more effective than external communicators in fostering widespread adoption and overcoming resistance. Question 17. The project manager for a major system upgrade understands that continuous improvement is vital for sustaining the benefits of the change. Which Agile principle directly supports this focus on ongoing adaptation and refinement? A. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. B. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. C. Responding to change over following a plan. D. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Answer: C. Responding to change over following a plan. The Agile principle of responding to change over following a plan directly supports the concept of continuous improvement and the ongoing adaptation necessary to sustain the benefits of organizational change. It emphasizes flexibility and the ability to adjust to new information, feedback, and evolving requirements even after initial deployment. For example, if user feedback reveals a pain point with the upgraded system, this principle encourages the project team to address it promptly rather than rigidly sticking to the original plan, ensuring the system remains valuable and relevant. This adaptive mindset ensures that changes are not just implemented but also optimized over time. Question 18. A project manager is tasked with implementing a new customer feedback mechanism. The organization's culture is traditionally hierarchical and resistant to direct feedback from lower levels. What is the project manager's primary consideration to ensure the new mechanism's success? A. Design the mechanism to only collect feedback from senior management. B. Focus on changing the underlying cultural norms to encourage open communication and feedback. C. Implement the mechanism but expect limited usage due to cultural barriers. D. Outsource the feedback collection to a third party to avoid internal cultural issues. Answer: B. Focus on changing the underlying cultural norms to encourage open communication and feedback. For a new mechanism like customer feedback to succeed in a traditionally hierarchical culture, the project manager must focus on addressing and changing the underlying cultural norms that discourage open communication. Simply implementing a tool without addressing cultural barriers will likely result in limited adoption or ineffective use. This might involve working with leadership to visibly champion open feedback, demonstrating how feedback drives positive change, and creating safe spaces for employees to share opinions without fear. Successful organizational change often requires adjusting mindsets and behaviors, not just processes or tools. Question 19. A project manager is preparing to close a project that successfully delivered a new enterprise resource planning (ERP) system. What is a key activity the project manager should perform to ensure the organizational change associated with the ERP system is truly embedded and sustained? A. Release the project team immediately to save costs. B. Conduct a final project retrospective with the project team. C. Confirm that the operational processes have been updated and that the organization has the necessary resources and capabilities to maintain the new system. D. Begin planning for the next major IT initiative. Answer: C. Confirm that the operational processes have been updated and that the organization has the necessary resources and capabilities to maintain the new system. To ensure an organizational change, such as a new ERP system, is truly embedded and sustained, the project manager must confirm that the operational environment is ready to fully adopt and maintain the new system post-project. This includes verifying that operational processes are updated, relevant staff are trained, and adequate resources, people, tools, support, are in place for ongoing maintenance and support. For example, if the finance department now uses the ERP for invoicing, the project manager ensures they have access to support, updated procedures, and trained staff to handle new scenarios. This handover ensures the project's benefits continue to be realized long after the project team disbands. Question 20. A project is developing a new knowledge management system. The project manager understands the importance of early and continuous stakeholder engagement to support organizational change. What is a key reason for engaging stakeholders early in the project lifecycle? A. To minimize the scope of the project and reduce complexity. B. To gather their requirements and build commitment and buy-in for the new system. C. To accelerate the project schedule by getting approvals quickly. D. To delegate project tasks to them, reducing the project team's workload. Answer: B. To gather their requirements and build commitment and buy-in for the new system. Engaging stakeholders early in the project lifecycle is crucial for two main reasons: to effectively gather their requirements and to build their commitment and buy-in for the upcoming change. When stakeholders feel their input is valued from the outset, they are more likely to accept and champion the new system rather than resist it later. For example, involving future users in defining how the knowledge management system should categorize information makes them feel heard and invested, leading to greater acceptance and successful adoption. This proactive engagement makes the change feel collaborative, not imposed. Question 21. An organization is implementing a new work-from-home policy. The project manager observes that many employees are concerned about maintaining team cohesion and collaboration. Which action best supports the organizational change by addressing these concerns? A. Distribute a strict policy document outlining acceptable work-from-home behaviors. B. Organize virtual team-building activities and provide tools for seamless online collaboration. C. Mandate daily video calls for all employees to ensure visibility. D. Ignore these concerns, assuming employees will adapt over time. Answer: B. Organize virtual team-building activities and provide tools for seamless online collaboration. When implementing a new work-from-home policy, actively addressing concerns about team cohesion and collaboration is vital for successful organizational change. Organizing virtual team-building activities and providing effective online collaboration tools directly mitigates these anxieties. For instance, providing platforms for informal chat, virtual coffee breaks, and shared online whiteboards can help replicate the sense of community and spontaneous interaction found in an office. By proactively supporting new ways of working together, the project manager helps employees adapt to the change and fosters a positive, collaborative remote environment. Question 22. A project to introduce an automated inventory system is struggling with user adoption due to a lack of perceived urgency among warehouse staff. The project manager needs to communicate the why behind this change effectively. What is the most compelling argument to present to the staff? A. The new system is a directive from senior management and must be adopted. B. The new system will eliminate several existing jobs in the warehouse. C. The current manual process leads to significant errors, delays, and lost revenue, which the new system will rectify, ensuring the company's long-term sustainability. D. The new system is cutting-edge technology and will make the company look modern. Answer: C. The current manual process leads to significant errors, delays, and lost revenue, which the new system will rectify, ensuring the company's long-term sustainability. To create a sense of urgency and gain buy-in for organizational change, it's crucial to clearly communicate the burning platform, the compelling reasons why the current state is unsustainable. Highlighting the tangible negative impacts of the manual inventory process, such as errors, delays, and financial losses, makes the need for change concrete and relevant to the staff. For example, showing how incorrect inventory leads to customer dissatisfaction directly impacts their daily work and the company's future, thereby justifying the effort required for the new system. This approach connects the change to organizational survival and improved efficiency. Question 23. In an organization adopting continuous delivery practices, the project manager recognizes that this represents a significant shift from traditional release cycles. To support this change, which factor is most crucial for fostering a culture of continuous improvement and rapid feedback loops? A. Limiting external stakeholder involvement to speed up delivery. B. Establishing isolated development teams that work independently. C. Implementing automated testing and deployment pipelines to reduce manual effort and human error. D. Focusing on comprehensive documentation before any code deployment. Answer: C. Implementing automated testing and deployment pipelines to reduce manual effort and human error. To foster a culture of continuous improvement and rapid feedback loops inherent in continuous delivery, implementing automated testing and deployment pipelines is paramount. Automation reduces the time and manual effort required for releases, allowing for more frequent and smaller deployments. For instance, automated tests catch defects early, enabling quicker fixes and ensuring quality, while automated deployment reduces the risk of human error in production. This efficiency creates a reliable environment where teams feel confident in releasing small changes frequently, driving the continuous improvement cycle. Question 24. A project manager is leading a project to centralize purchasing operations. This change will affect multiple departments that currently have autonomous purchasing authority. What is the most effective approach to ensure a smooth transition and reduce resistance from department heads? A. Bypass department heads and communicate directly with their staff. B. Engage department heads in defining the new centralized purchasing process, emphasizing the benefits and addressing their specific concerns. C. Offer financial bonuses to department heads who comply without resistance. D. Implement the change abruptly to minimize prolonged discussions. Answer: B. Engage department heads in defining the new centralized purchasing process, emphasizing the benefits and addressing their specific concerns. To ensure a smooth transition and reduce resistance when centralizing operations, the most effective approach is to actively engage the affected department heads in defining the new process. By involving them, the project manager gains their valuable input and ensures the new process considers their specific needs and concerns. For example, allowing them to shape aspects of the new process, such as how requisitions will be submitted or approvals managed, transforms them into collaborators rather than resistors. This participatory approach fosters ownership and commitment, making the change much more likely to succeed. Question 25. An Agile project team has delivered an initial version of a new internal communication platform. During the sprint review, users provide feedback indicating that a key feature, while functional, is not intuitive and requires significant training. What should the project manager or product owner prioritize next to support user adoption? A. Launch a comprehensive training program focusing on how to use the non-intuitive feature. B. Reprioritize the backlog to redesign the feature for better intuitiveness, rather than just training. C. Document the feedback and schedule it for review in a future quarterly planning session. D. Inform users that the feature is technically correct and they must adapt to its current design. Answer: B. Reprioritize the backlog to redesign the feature for better intuitiveness, rather than just training. In Agile, the emphasis is on delivering value and responding to feedback. If a key feature is non-intuitive, simply providing more training addresses the symptom, not the root cause. The most effective approach for user adoption is to reprioritize the backlog to redesign the feature for improved usability. For example, if users struggle to find a specific button, the team should modify the interface to make it more prominent or logical. This iterative approach directly addresses user pain points, enhances the user experience, and makes the platform naturally easier to adopt, embodying the spirit of continuous improvement and customer focus.